Soft tissue biceps.
Hey James, Dr. Beard. We're just getting started on the left shoulder. We're looking at it from the back to the front. Everything that you see is magnified 30 or 40 times on the screen, and we're just going to get started here having a look around. First thing we usually identify is the biceps tendon here on the right side of that clear cannula. And as we tug on the biceps, we can see as it exits the shoulder at the top of the screen. We'll look down at the biceps anchor, and there's some tearing here that we're going to have to deal with. So we can see where this anchor is pulled off the bone here. And in order to fix that, we do what's called a biceps tenodesis. We'll take a spinal needle, and in just a second you'll see that needle coming through the biceps tendon. So there it is going through. I'm going to go a little bit more in the middle. So there it is going through the tendon there. And then through that needle we're going to pass a black wire that we call a super shuttle. And then we'll take another instrument, a grasper, we'll back the needle out. And then we'll pass a suture back through the tendon. Okay. There we are with our second pass through the tendon. And we're going to reach on the other side to retrieve, and we'll show you why in just a minute. And then as we pull tight, you'll see how this creates a loop around the biceps. See, we have a nice strong loop going around the biceps. Now we're going to go ahead and cut the biceps at its insertion, and this will take care of this problem. We still have to tie the ends of those sutures up in the subacromial space in order to secure the tenodesis. But now that biceps isn't tugging on that area anymore, and that way it won't hurt, and it won't continue to be torn and detached. Okay, come down here, right? Okay. So now we're going to look down. We'll look down the front of the shoulder next. There's some kind of wear and tear changes in the labrum that we can smooth out. Give me that, and we can work the shoulder. What is this stuck on? Closer to the outfit. Okay, so we've taken care of that torn labrum, I think. to. Okay, hold the shaver. Now we're going to look up at the rotator cuff. And here's where the tear is, right in here. Hold it. You can see that this insertion is a bit abnormal. What we're going to do is take a marker stitch and we'll pass that through this area right in here. Doesn't look as bad as we thought it was going to look, but we haven't seen the full tear yet. So next we'll take a spinal needle. We'll pass this down through the part of the tendon that I'm the most worried about, which is going to be right in here. And then we'll pass this purple suture. And like I said, this is just a marker stitch so that we can find this area very quickly when we change positions with your shoulder. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and look towards the back of the shoulder. As we look towards the back, I really don't see anything else to worry about, which is good. Okay, we'll keep looking around. If there's anything else to show you, we'll come back up on the video. Pause, please. Okay, so we're taking off the anterior lip of a bone called the acromion. It's really the roof of the shoulder. Here's what's left hanging down here. We've already worked back here where it looks a little bit smoother. And now we're going to take this lip off. Like this. And that looks a lot better now. There's still a little bit of a lip right there, isn't there? Okay, so now we can see all the way around the edge through here. And that looks a lot better. So the next step is to go ahead and have a look at this rotator cuff. We'll go off on the video and show you some more in just a minute. But from this side, and this is what we thought from the studies we had in the office. So here we can see the tear in the rotator cuff. You see this hole right here. And we'll go ahead and open it up so we can repair it. We'll keep working here and show you once we get this debrided enough to start repairing. Okay, so what we're working with is this large, primarily bursal-sided tear. We can see all the way back here posteriorly, but it looks like we're attached there. We've got this large hole, and then it extends up anterior to about there. So we're going to go ahead and take a spinal needle next, and with that needle we're going to check our angle and make sure we can get a suture anchor in a good angle. Looks like we want to get one about here and maybe a second one over here. So we'll go ahead and make a little nick in the skin. And then we'll take an instrument called a punch. There's the punch coming down. And we'll try and get our first anchor down right about here. Do we have any more of the fully threaded, or did we just return them? Okay, so here we're going to place that suture anchor down in the bone here. And then we can unload the screwdriver. You're going to see 3 different colored sutures coming off of the anchor. And we'll just work with those one at a time. First, we're going to reach in here and spread them apart so we can tell which ones we're going to work with first. So as we do that and look down, we're going to start with the white one. So we'll take that out like this. Okay. And we know we want to bring this down, look down, so that it looks like that. We'll go ahead and take an instrument called a suture hook. And as we pass that through, you can see the tip of it. Come up and give us a picture there. You can see the tip of it there. Okay, and then outside your shoulder, we're going to load that with a stitch. Pause, please. Fix that. Okay, now we're going to place a second stitch. There it is coming through. Is there anything else to do? Yeah. Come on, bud. Okay, that's better. And we'll feed a bunch of that wire through. Okay, that should be enough. Pause. Okay, so we've placed all 3 sutures from the first anchor. You can see they're kind of lined up here, and as you look back, you can see where they come out through the top of the cuff there. We haven't tied any of them yet because we're going to be placing a second screw here. And this second screw we're going to place up here. Are you looking to 9 o'clock? Just want to see how far interior we need to worry about. Okay, so like that. So somewhere around here would be good. There's the suture anchor coming into the picture there. And we'll just place it in the same little starter hole that we just made. We'll go ahead and spread the sutures apart just like we showed you on the first anchor. So we can decide. Looks like we're going to go black, blue, white. So here's the black one. Okay, pause. Okay, so we've now placed 2 suture anchors and a total of 6 sutures. You can see they're all going out. You can kind of see how they're going to fan out once you tie them even, starting like this. So the first step is we're going to tie this white suture from the first anchor. So we will retrieve it like that. And then we'll get this tied and show you some more in a minute. All right, so we're all done here. I just wanted to show you what we've been able to accomplish. We've got the tear completely repaired. And we've also tied those biceps tendon sutures. Here's the front of the shoulder. Remember, we worked on that bone spur up at the top of the screen here. And now as we look down, just want to make sure we've released that coracoacromial ligament because of this tear that you had. That looks pretty reasonable. Is our light wave working? And as we look down here, you can see the front of the shoulder. We can see how that hole that was there is completely eliminated. And then as we rotate and look towards the back of the shoulder, we can see the very first anchor that we put in, and that looks nice and tight also. So we're going to take the little punch and make some little holes in the bone to try and stimulate some healing. But I think we're done with the bulk of our surgery, and hopefully this gets you a shoulder that doesn't hurt and that allows you to do everything you want to do without pain. Okay, so good luck to you now. Bye-bye.